Hello everyone, so welcome back. So today we are going to discuss question set 21 of the question set, the BMS question sets. So over here, you'll be able to see all the questions in the question set 21 from 1 to 5, 1 to 6. So let's read the first question where it says, what is the highest mark obtained in the first term mathematics subject? So we could use queries to execute this question or the answer for this question. So I'm going to first use a select query. And they're asking us to the maximum or the highest mark. So I'm going to use the keyword max. I'm going to give the table mark, and I'm going to take it from student exam mark tables. Let me just copy that. Okay, so student exam mark record. And also they're asking the highest mark obtained in the first term in the mathematics subject. So I need to join, or I need to join two more tables over here. So the first table that I'm going to join for this table is going to be the term table. So I am going to use the keyword inner join, and I'm going to join the exam term table. I'm going to say student exam mark record table dot exam term ID should be equal to exam ID in the exam term table. And also I have to join again. So I'm going to put another inner join, and I'm going to join the subject table. And I have to say, okay, so the subject ID should be equal to subject ID in the subject table. Now I have to say the condition, so where the subject, or I could say the term name, should be equal to first term. Let me just check that very quickly. Yep, the term name should be equal to first term. And then I can say, I can use the and. I can say, I can change this, okay. And the subject name should be equal to mathematics. So let's execute this query to see, check the results, and you'll be able to see the maximum marks that we have is 90. And in the second question, it says, what is the highest marks obtained in the second term science subject? So what we have to do is change this to second term, the subject to science. So if we execute that, we'll be able to see the highest marks got in the second term in the science subject, which is 95. And the third question says, what is the highest mark obtained by the students for all the subjects in the second term? So this is a bit different question. So they're asking the highest mark obtained by the students for all the subjects in the second term. So it's not specified to which subject. So we can delete this part of the query. And then they're saying we can delete the subject part as well that we added over here. Right, and we could see, okay. So we could see that we are finding the maximum mark from the student exam mark record table, and we have inner joined that with the exam table, and only we are focusing on the second term because they're asking the highest mark obtained in the second term in all the subjects. So when I execute this, you can see that the highest mark is 98.5. And if we move on to the next question, says which subject got the highest marks? Which subject got the highest marks in the second term? Okay, so let's see how to do this question. So to do this, we need to use subquery. So they're asking to find the subject who got the highest marks in the second term. So we already know what is the highest mark that we got in the second term, which is this. So what I have to do is I just have to add another select query or select statement. So I have to say select, because they're asking the subject name, I have to say select the subject name. And I have to select it from the subject table because subject table has the subject names. And I have to say where, I'm using the where clause, I'm going to say where the subject ID should be equal to another subject ID. So to say that, I'm going to say where the subject ID. So I'm going to say the subject ID should be equal to our, or I can use the clause in to say that it's equal to. And again, I have to select the subject ID of the subject that I got from here. So to do that, I have to select the subject ID from the student exam mark record table. So I have to say select the subject ID from student exam mark record table. I'm going to say where. And now I'm going to say, okay, so this is the student exam mark record table. So if I see the data, so I have 98.5 right here. Okay, so this is subject ID. So I have to give this ID to this query. So I'm going to say, take the subject ID from this where the mark should be equal to. So again, I have to use another subquery and I have to select all of this and put it inside that. So that is the mark that I obtained. So I can put the in clause here as well, no problem. All right. And I can put the semicolon, and if I execute, okay, so so we have got three subjects. The reason I got three subjects is that, so if I go through the my query again, so I have to select the subject name from the subject table, and the subject ID in the subject table should be equal to the subject ID in the student exam mark record table. But in the student exam mark record table, we don't have something called subject ID, but we have subject ID. That is where it got wrong. So we have to change this to subject ID, which is the subject ID name of the student exam mark record table. Now, if I execute, okay, as you can see, we have single language and literature as our subject name, which has the highest mark. And then we have to do the fifth question. It says find the details of the student who got the highest marks in the second term. So we have to find the details of the student who got the highest marks in the second term. So I'm just going to remove this and I'm going to keep it separately. So now what I have to do is I have to find the details of the student. So I have to find the details of the student. So I'm going to say select all, because they don't say specifically what details, select all from the student table, where the student ID is equal to, so let me just check the data over here. So we have student index number as the student ID given here. So let me just go through the student table as well. So this is the subject table, this is the student table. We have the index number. Okay, so I'm going to say index number in the student table. The index number is equal to the index number in the student exam mark record table. So student index number. And that is this. From this, where the mark is the same. Okay, so I just have to put that again over here. Okay, let's execute. So here we have the student who got the highest marks. So that is student 3, Sajitra Vikramasinghe, who is a female, and whose contact number is this and class is this. Right, then we have to find the details of the student who got the highest marks in mathematics in the first term examination and the class in which he is studying. So let's see how to do this question. So first, I'm going to delete all of this. Okay. So I'm going to first write the first I'm going to write the things that I need. So I need the details of the student. So I need, so if I state the student table right here, I need the first name. Then I need the last name. Next, I need the gender. And okay, let's take the contact number as well. And also, they're asking the details of the student. That is one point. And they're also asking the class which he is studying. So therefore, I need the class as well. So I need the class name, and that I should take from the class table. So yes, the class name. And I'm going to say, take this from the student, because we need the first name, last name, gender connectment from the student table. And I'm going to inner join class table, and I'm going to say student dot class ID should be equal to the class ID in the class table. And also I have to say inner join class. Okay, I need to put on here. Okay, and then I have to see, right. Then I have to again inner join the student table with the student exam mark record table. Just student exam mark code on student dot index ID, which is equal to the student ID of this table. So let me put that as well. And then I have to say the where clause, where mark is equal to, or I can say mark in, in, then I have to say select the maximum marks, right? So I have to go with max. Mark from this table. And I have to inner join this table with the first term examination, right? Because we want the marks of the first term. Yes. So we need the first term. So I need the exam term table on exam term ID is equal to the exam term ID. And then again I have to inner join the student exam mark record table with the subject table. The subject or the student exam mark record dot subject ID is equal to the subject dot subject ID. Now I have to say the where clause, where the exam term ID, the term name is equal to first term, and the subject name is equal to mathematics. Okay, so let's execute this and see. All right, so here we have the first name, last name, gender, contact number, and the class name of the student who got the highest marks in mathematics in the first term examination. So this is how you write a query to find that. So that's it for the question set 21. Let's see you, or let's meet again in question set 22. Thanks for watching.